This morning, Dr. Dustin Higgins from Quincy Medical Group is here to talk about World Diabetes Day, which is actually tomorrow. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
So we want to specifically hit women with diabetes. What makes that disease different in men than women?
Well, actually, the difference, the actual diabetes case and course in women is not different, but women are able to conceive and have children, and so diabetes can affect them in pregnancy, and that's what we call gestational diabetes.
So that's just one more element that women have with that. Now, when you come to World Diabetes Day, what do you do to, you don't really celebrate this day, but it's a day to kind of raise awareness of this disease.
Exactly.
So what kind of things can be done?
Well, the way to raise awareness is, doing interviews like this or just talking about it in general. There's actually, diabetes is very prevalent in the U.S. 29.1 million people have diabetes. About 8.1 million likely have diabetes but have not been diagnosed. And about 1.4 million are diagnosed on a yearly basis in the U.S. So it's very prevalent. So
what do you look for? What are some symptoms to know maybe you need to see a doctor that you might have diabetes?
Well, the symptoms to look for would be, actually what happens is there's a lack of insulin in type 1, or there's an insulin resistance in type 2 diabetes, and that's where your body is unable to use blood sugars, and so the sugars actually come out in the urine, and so actually a person is going to experience that excessive thirst and then excessive urination. And so those are the first signs of diabetes.
Okay, and so at what point do you know it's time to see a doctor, or is this something that maybe on an annual exam you can say, by the way, I found myself urinating a lot?
Absolutely, that's something to bring up with your physician, and it should be screened for. Especially, it's important to note that you have to have a genetic predisposition for diabetes, and so if it runs in the family, that is something that you should pay close attention to and bring it up with your physician.
And then once you get the diagnosis, it can be hard to take because it's a life-changing condition, but you can live with diabetes. It's just you have to alter your lifestyle a little bit.
Absolutely. So once you have a genetic predisposition for diabetes, it has to do with lifestyle. So people that are higher risk for diabetes are those that don't exercise, that are eating a high carbohydrate diet, and actually has to do with obesity. So high risk for diabetes with those risk factors in your life. And so by decreasing your weight, eating right, exercising, you can reduce the risk of diabetes.
And so talking to a health professional probably seems like a good idea, then, especially if you have a family disposition.
Exactly.
All right. Doctor, thanks so much for coming in. By the way, this interview was sponsored by Quincy Medical Group.